Well, I'm joined now by the DA's MP, Glynnis Breytenbach. Good evening. Thank you very much for your time. I was reading through the response from the Public Protector after today's ruling, and she said, and I quote, "The face value implication of the Western Cape High Court judgment is that it is undesirable for the Public Protector to proceed with the implementation of binding remedial action against a respondent who's challenging its legality, but it is desirable for the Speaker of the National Assembly to implement impeachment rules whose constitutionality is yet to be determined by a court of law." Doesn't she have a point? I mean, she's referring, of course, to the challenge to her remedial action by Pravin Gordhan, which, of course, I think went to the Constitutional Court. Does she have a point?
No, again, as usual, she has misconstrued the law and the Constitution. And no, she doesn't have a point. I think, the judges are very clear. This is part A of the application, so really dealt with urgency of interdicting the process. That has now been dealt with. Part B will be argued. It's usually argued in November, but because of lockdown, these things, unavailability of legal teams is now an issue. So in all probability, Part B will be done in February. But in the interim, it's in the discretion of the Speaker to proceed with the removal proceedings, the impeachment proceedings, if she so desires. It's really now completely within her discretion.
You've lost me a little bit, Glynnis, sorry, with the Part A, Part B bit. I wonder if you could just break it down for me. You say she has got it wrong again when she says, essentially what's sauce for the goose is sauce for the gander. That Minister Pravin Gordhan can halt my remedial action, but I can't halt what Parliament's trying to do.
Well, you can't compare remedial action with impeachment. As the court correctly pointed out, impeachment is not something to be taken lightly. So what Parliament is busy with is an impeachment process against the Public Protector because they say she's unfit to hold office. There have been scathing judgments against her. Numerous judges of the High Court and the Constitutional Court have found that she's been less than honest. They've found that she doesn't understand her own mandate, that she misconstrues the Constitution. She holds a very high office. She sits at the head of one of the most, or arguably the most important Chapter 9 institutions. You can hardly compare impeachment process in that sense with her remedial action. Her remedial action is something completely different from a different level, and so that's an issue that should be dealt with in the correct forum. But for her to again misconstrue these two processes, for me, just underlines that she's again not understood the law.
What can she do next? I mean, can she take this further in court? Do you expect that she will?
Well, she's got even the first cost order she's got against her, and it probably won't be the last for as long as she's in office. So, if I were to give her some advice, I would say just, don't do it and let the process play itself out. She will get ample opportunity in an objective forum in Parliament to demonstrate why she shouldn't be impeached. To waste money now on further avenues is, in my view, throwing good money after bad. But, she won't take my advice, and so that's fine. She'll have to decide on the basis of her legal advice whether she takes it forward or not. I certainly wouldn't advise her.
She says that certain MPs are biased against her. Why do you believe she's not fit to hold office? Give us just probably your top reason. What would you say it is?
Well, the basis of the DA's request for the impeachment process to be instituted is really based on the scathing judgments of the High Court and the Constitutional Court. So those are common knowledge. They're in the public space. They've been traversed several times, and that forms the basis of our application.
What's going to happen now in Parliament, and how long might the process take? Let's say she decides against challenging this in court.
I don't know how long the process will take. Everything is now much slower due to the inability of many people to travel. Many MPs are not in Parliament. Everything is being done on a virtual platform. There's no reason why the impeachment process can't play out on a virtual platform. It's absolutely fine. But it's entirely within the discretion of the Speaker, and it's impossible for me to say how long it will take. But there are no longer any impediments for the Speaker to institute this action now. So she can set up an ad hoc committee now, and they can start dealing with it, which is very desirable.
Thank you very much, DA MP Glynnis Breytenbach.